August 1993 saw a capacity Ibrox crowd welcome English visitors Newcastle United for a testimonial match on behalf of one of Rangers' most popular and prolific goal scorers ever. Unable to play that night due to injury, Ally McCoist took to the park to the applause of fans who recognised in one of their favourite sons someone who is not only a great Rangers player but also one of the club's most enthusiastic supporters.
Having spent the best part of 12 years at the club, I've got the club in my blood. I mean, I love the club with all my heart, and they've given me an opportunity. I mean, to do something that I'd be doing anyway, which is playing football, but for to do it for the club you love and do it as a job is unbelievable. And the club have been great to me over the years, and I'm just happy to score a few goals and pay them back.
Alistair Murdoch McCoist's route to becoming a Rangers player was anything but direct. Despite the early interest of Rangers, the young McCoist left Hunter High School in East Kilbride and headed for Perth, attracted by the possibility of first-team football with St Johnstone.
And that must be touched away. McCoist.
He quickly became one of the most talked-about young players in Scottish football, scoring goals against quality opposition. Despite continued interest from John Gregg, in the summer of 1981, Ally was lured to Sunderland for £350,000. By the time he left, 2 seasons later, he had scored only 8 goals in 56 league appearances. As an inexperienced 18-year-old in a struggling side, Ally was yet to realise his full potential.
I can remember him as a young lad at Sunderland when I last played at Newcastle, and he didn't have the best of the times of it there in terms of goals scored, but whenever you watched him play, he was always hitting a post or hitting a crossbar, and I think it's fair to say the fans really liked him.
Ally eventually signed for Rangers in 1983 for the sum of £185,000, surely one of Rangers' best bargains ever.
When I first joined Rangers, all I was interested in was getting a game and scoring goals.
Ally's first Old Firm game gave him an early opportunity to impress and gave supporters a mere glimpse of the McCoist magic.
Well, there's a great goal! Ally McCoist, right out the blue, right through the Celtic defence, 27 seconds.
In less time than it had taken to lace his boots, Ally had already written his name into the record books.
My first league goal, never mind first goal against Celtic. And I think it is, to this day, it's probably still the quickest goal in an Old Firm game. At that time, we weren't a successful side, or we weren't as successful a side as Rangers should be, and we weren't winning things on a regular basis, and we weren't putting performances of real quality in on a regular basis. And perhaps because I was the latest signing and I wasn't banging in as many goals as the fans felt I should, they gave me a little bit of a hard time.
The return of Jock Wallace offered some hope to success-starved Ibrox regulars, but as the lean times continued, so did the abuse, which was focused on the young Ally.
I'd be lying if I said it didn't get me down, because I felt a lot of the punters pay their money and they're told to say their piece, but I felt a lot of maybe the abuse was just a little bit harsh, just a little bit over the top, and it does get to you sometimes. At the same time, you just got to smile and go on with it.
Matters came to a head after a defeat in the Scottish Cup at the hands of a Dundee side which included John Brown.
That day Ally was the only one who looked to be buzzing about, getting on the end of things, but just one of the days doesn't go for you. And I think it was surprising the rest of the Rangers team. There's quite a few players just disappeared when I had scored the goal and things weren't going well, but because he was always there to put his shell out and go for the chance. The full place just slaughtered him.
I had a point to prove. I wanted to score goals for Rangers. I wanted to be one of the best strikers Rangers have had. I wanted to achieve this. This was my aim. A couple of fans shouting, "Give me stick," was never going to put me off, and it didn't.
To overcome all that and become the player that he has become, I think says a tremendous amount for the guy's character and strength, inner strength, because a lot of people would have crumbled and maybe faded out of the game because of the enormous stick that he took at that time.
The League Cup final in Ally's first season had gone some way towards winning over doubting supporters. Having scored twice, he faced Pat Bonner in the Celtic goal to win the match in extra time.
And that was the first sort of major medal I'd ever won, and it was to score a hat-trick against your arch rivals, and you know, you're scoring a goal for your boyhood heroes against your arch rivals, and a hat-trick in the cup final was just unbelievable. And this is the room where most of my football memorabilia is kept, and I've got to be honest with you, I had absolutely nothing to do with it, and I'm proud as punch of this room. Alison did all the decorating, and it's a magnificent room. And of course, if you look about, there's a lot of memories in the shape of photographs and pictures and stuff like that, and some that do mean a lot to me. That was myself and Big Jock after we beat Celtic in the League Cup final, and we beat them 3-2 after extra time. And Big Jock looks fairly happy there with that. Seen that fist clenched a few times. And this has just got to, I've just got to show you this photograph. If I had to pick one as my favourite, I think probably this is my favourite of the lot. And it was taken at pre-season training in 1985, I think it was. And it's as you heard of the infamous Gullen, the sands at Gullen, and that's us actually standing at the foot of the sands at Gullen. That's myself, Big Derek Johnson, and I think the tragic thing for me that day, I think Big Derek actually beat me up and down the hill that day, which a lot of people wouldn't believe. But Big Jock's training methods were very, very physical, at a time probably when I needed it more than anything, because I was still, as I said, still built like a little boy, and the amount of work I did a lot of work like that, obviously, and a lot of work in the gym with Big Jock, and I definitely felt the better for it, there's no doubt about that.
Ally responded well to the uncompromising figure of Jock Wallace, who he credits with saving his career at that time.
But Big Jock, I think, in a physical sense more than anything, a physical presence of the man. He was a giant of a man, he really was, and he carried this physical presence. And at the same time, he turned me in from being a wee boy into a man physically as well, and mentally. Because he had me up in the room when he first came. I mean, weeks into it, he said, look, I've had an offer for Cardiff. I'm thinking about accepting it. And I don't know to this day whether he had an offer for Cardiff. Part of me thinks he had, but other part thinks he was just in to wind me up to see how I reacted to it. I said, no, I don't want to go to Cardiff, Gaffer. I said, I want to stay and fight for my place. OK. And he said, I'll see you in a couple of weeks in. And I just got to head down, and I battered into the training again, get myself back in the team, started scoring goals. And as I say, I don't know whether he was sussing me out. I think he might have been sussing me out to see how I'd react to it. But there was no way I was ever going to say, you know, chuck it and throw in the towel and go somewhere else. I wanted to score goals for Rangers.
The improvement was dramatic. In his second season, he scored 11 goals in the last 10 games. He continued that form into the next season, amassing an incredible total of 41 goals, despite the team's lack of success. As the supporters' voices rang around the stadium, they discovered a new song which would soon become familiar. Super Ally.
I do have a good, and I have had for years now, better than good, a great relationship with the Rangers fans, young and old, and that is very, very important to me. I think one of the main reasons for that, I think they look at me and see themselves, I would love to see themselves in my shoes, and that maybe they like the way I handle being a Rangers player and handle scoring goals.
Ally had finally won the battle for the hearts and minds of Rangers followers. From that time onward, Ally has enjoyed a unique rapport with the fans.
Well, he must be one of the finest attacking players that have played for the club in the last 30 years.
He's a winner. Likes to score goals, enjoys scoring goals.
He's one of the greatest Rangers strikers ever.
His goal scoring record's up there amongst the best. Jimmy Miller, Alfie Brand. Great character off the park, perfect ambassador for the club, and always, forever be remembered, no matter what else he does in life, as a great Ranger by all the fans.
Ally is the hero of Rangers.
He is a good player.
It's like Jim Baxter in the 60s, Ally McCoist in the 80s and 90s. He is a man to be, by the way. Super Ally.
Ally McCoist is one of the best football players that Rangers ever had.
I take great pride in the relationship I now have with the Rangers fans. I don't take any pleasure in saying, well, that's it, I've showed you a lot now, you're now on my side. My aim was to be a successful striker, score goals, and have a good relationship with the fans, because that is very, very important to me.
When Graham Souness entered a packed press conference in April 1986, nothing would ever be quite the same again.
It's because all of a sudden this bomb exploded in the Scottish football scene, and Graham Souness grabbed not just Rangers but Scottish football by the scruff of the neck and shook it about and transformed it. Without any doubt, he started to sign great players. He attracted great players, Butchers and Woods and people like that to the Rangers Football Club, and forced the rest of Scottish football to sit up, take notice. The rest of the European football, if you like, started looking at Scottish football.
McCoist has it for Rangers. He has Fleck on his right. Fleck is onside. The chance to clinch it for Rangers.
When a new manager comes, it's somebody you've got to show yourself to, somebody you've got to prove yourself to, because a new manager comes, everybody starts off on a level keel, and everybody's fighting and vying for positions, and it was no different when Graham Souness came, and it was important for me to continue scoring goals on a regular basis. But some of the passing in the early days, in the first year at Souness, was brilliant.
William playing some superb football, engineered mainly by the man spraying out that pass at the moment, Souness. Now Cooper. Oh, it's there. Number 2, Ally McCoist.
Cooper nodding it down. Sanderson touching it away. The chance now for McCoist. Brilliantly taken. With Ferguson, Souness is free in the middle. Got a lot of space. He also has Cooper free on the left. Now a chance for Rangers. Cooper taking on McGrain. That's McCoist. A brilliant goal from Rangers. There's a chance for Roberts. Now McCoist turns it in. The goal which these Rangers fans are looking for. Ally McCoist, overjoyed, his 35th of the season, and significantly his 31st league goal, breaking a record which has stood for more than 20 years from Jim Forrest. Up goes Butcher, off the post. It's McCoist. McCoist does it again. 3 minutes into the second half. And bedlam breaks out again around the stadium. McCoist against Smith.
With Ally in prolific form, the long-awaited league championship title was finally within grasping distance.
It was his first championship in 9 years, and the day at Pittodrie was absolutely unbelievable. I remember Big Terry's goal, free kick, Cooper, wonderful header. That was 1-0. Aberdeen equalised. At the same time, news filtered through that Falkirk had beaten Celtic at Parkhead, and the party began, and thousands appeared on the turf at Pittodrie. And I remember arriving, fighting my way through it, and I genuinely was a wee bit scared actually. I get into the park and into the dressing room. All I had on was a pair of slips. There had a gold chain around my neck at the time. Obviously I lost my jersey and socks and shorts and stuff like that. And the only thing I was worried about was my gold chain, and we're telling the story after it, and sure enough, about a week, 10 days after it, I arrived through the post with my gold chain. I think somebody's conscience must have been playing him a wee bit. Like that one. A bit small.
Oh yes, that one now.
We're going to take this one, that's lovely. If that's okay. Yeah, happy.
What, putting it down? It depends how long it's been there. That's probably only about... How long does it take them to grow that?
About 7-8 years.
Oh, that is a shame.
Too late now, like. I come home with my troubles about my football and share them with Alison. She's tremendous. She's a tremendous listener. And I say things to Alison that I wouldn't dream of saying to anybody else, even about football. I mean, that's my wife, and I love and respect her for that. Right.
Okay.
Right, here we go.
These are the singing bells, so I'll put them on.
Or those that you put on for 2 minutes and they get your nerves, you've got to switch them off again.
That's right.
It's not something that's happened overnight. I've known Alison for since my days at Sunderland. You're talking the best part of 14 years. We've been that close for 14 years, you know, she's been part of me for 14 years, and I've got a lot to thank her for. In fact, I've got everything to thank her for. And these achievements, and I get the credit for winning them, but I couldn't have done it without the help of Alison. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I might be wrong, but I don't think that white box is meant to be floating a bit like that.
No, it's not. Right, it's supposed to stay there, so
right.
So use some slack. Do what? Start it from there.
Right, please work.
Well?
Yeah.
Right, and turn it down now.
Right, I'm really pleased that's working. Right. The beautiful house that we're living in just now, I mean, she's furnished the whole lot. I mean, I'm genuinely hopeless about the house. I'm not proud of the fact, but it's a fact. I'm hopeless about the house. And somebody handed me a paintbrush and stuff like that, I'll have a go at it, but I'm not any good at it. But Alison organised everything. She's got rooms organised, and it's taken her a long time. And there's probably times where she's felt like chucking it, you know, and calling me all the songs within the sun. But I'm glad she never. And I'm really, really proud of her, the fact that she stuck by it.
More decoration. You take those. Put the thing
In the middle. Did you just go all over the place like that?
Oh, I think I'll do with it.
Ah, good idea. You can pull rank on me, right? You.
Is there no more tinsel for you to put on the chair?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on my chair.
Right, you got it?
Let's go further down. Okay?
How's that? Quite happy with that, surely.
Further up a bit, further
No,
up.
it's not like that. I like it with that. You've got a good view, look. Look at his view. Finito. Is it?
Yeah. Well
And not an argument in sight. To be heard. That wasn't bad, actually, Alison.
Right, now you can go out.
Right, I'm off to the pub, right?
No, you can go.
It's
got the cards to write now.
It's great, isn't it? A bit.
Goff is in the box once again. So is Butcher. Back to Brown. Blocked by McCarthy. There's McCoist.
Aberdeen with the corner kick, and that's the equaliser. Dodds. Yes, Ferguson was a brilliant goal. Here's Bat. There's Dodge, and that's in the equaliser. Goff is there, and it's there. Ally McCoist. 3-2 for Rangers, only a couple of minutes left.
I think he's a tremendous poacher. He's a type of player, a type of striker who's instinctive. He knows instinctively where to go into positions that you just can't coach people to do. And McCoist is one of these guys who'll run in a goalkeeper 10 times in a game and maybe score once. And the punters will see the time that he runs in and scores, but they'll not see the other 9 times that he runs in, taking that chance. He's superb instinct in the box and always a threat. I always felt if you kept him out of the box, then you had a chance of keeping him quiet on the day.
In Ally's time with Rangers, he's seen a large number of striking partners come and go.
That's what the gaffer says, actually. It's not how many striking partners I've played with, it's how many I've got rid of.
The summer of 1989 saw a new partner for Ally in the shape of former Celt Maurice Johnson.
The one transfer that absolutely rocked Scottish football at its foundation. Nobody could ever see this happening.
McCoist was one of the first person I told when I was signing for Rangers. And I sat him down and he couldn't believe it. He was shocked. I don't think that's the quietest I've ever seen him. He never spoke for about 3 hours. It's probably going to Guinness Book of Records.
We were away on the Scotland trip and the phone would go and Mo would be on the phone. And you're not eavesdropping, but at the same time, you know he's on the phone, you know what he's talking about. And I'd be sticking the pillow in my face and be shaking my head. I couldn't believe what was happening, I just could not believe what was happening.
Johnston, and he scored!
People say, it was great Graham Souness signing Maurice Johnson. It was. It was great for Graham Souness to have the insight to go and sign Maurice Johnson. But the burden was far greater on Maurice Johnson becoming the first player like that to come to Rangers. I played together with Scotland a good few times. We struck up a rapport on and off the park with a great relationship. And he was a good player, very, very hard-working player. And I really, really enjoyed playing up front with him, without a doubt. And it benefited, we both benefited.
Oh, clumsy work there from Clark. The chance is on for McCoist. Created by Johnston, finished by McCoist.
We both always like to enjoy themselves on and off the park. He's just an incredible guy. He's very popular. For me, overall, he's been the best striker for Rangers over the years.
He's going to go for the shot. Beautiful. Oh yes. McCoist at his very best.
He's possibly one of the best strikers in Europe.
Go to McCoist. Sheer brilliance from McCoist.
You could see him mature into an excellent player, world-class player, really. He takes his chances and he's not afraid to miss chances. He missed quite a few, Ally. All strikers, you can't score every time a chance is presented to you.
He doesn't mind missing a chance. You'll get strikers who get a lot of chances, they'll maybe miss one and it'll hurt them a wee bit and they'll think about it during the game and they'll get chances after that and they'll be too nervous to take them. But Coist's always been the kind of lad that he'll miss a chance and he'll forget it instantly and he'll get a chance 5 or 6 minutes later and stick it in the net, and he's always been like that.
With him, he's not frightened to miss. That's one good thing about Ally. He might miss 5 on the trot, but the 6th one he'll still be there to stick it away. And I think that's what worries defenders. He might be having a lean time of it. For 89 minutes, you'll never see McCoist, and all of a sudden, in the space of 30 seconds, he'll pop up and score the winner.
But he wasn't afraid to miss, and he wasn't afraid you know, be in the box and in the penalty area and putting his head and his feet and everything else where it hurts to score those goals.
Helped on by Johnston, with a chance for McCoist. That settles it.
Good job. Johnson beautifully inside. Here's McCoist. Tries a chip. Oh, he's done it! What a brilliant goal! And that breaks the Premier Division record.
And Ally McCoist given the chance to break the post-war record of league goals, jointly held at the moment with Derek Johnston, who's here at the ground today. Here goes McCoist. He's done it!
He's been the best in the business the last 10 years, without a shadow of a doubt. He's been Rangers' top scorer. And you can't ask for any more than that. Whether it's Rangers he's playing with or Scotland, you'll always score goals.
Everyone needs to unwind, and for Ally that normally means a day at the races, a pastime he has enjoyed since his days with Sunderland.
He rises at it now, jumps it well, Kilcolgan. He's about 8 now. Sheeling Lad is making no expression. Furious is staying on at one pace, seeking goal, a distant fourth.
Coops has just got to jump it.
Fence, the last of 19 fences.
Coop, it'd be a tragedy if it falls here.
Up towards it now, 1-2 and over.
Away you go, Davey.
Looks over
Win collect.
He sees that Sheeling Lad is well held back in second place. Up towards the line, Kilcolgan is being...
It's a great way of escaping from the pressures of the football, if you like. I think my dad always liked a punt, and myself as well. Nothing too serious though. It's good fun. If you take it as it's meant to be, good fun and a day out. That's the best way to take it. What are we thinking about here then, lads?
What do you fancy?
You rode in a race and all, didn't you?
You're on V, I think.
Favourite car. Fancy farmers.
Ally's fondness for the sport of kings was well publicised in 1991 when his annual midweek trip to Cheltenham incurred the wrath of Graham Souness.
Choice, they're the best bet today.
Concert boy.
Haute couture, last race, fancy it.
So when that last race, that runs it.
That as well. Runs against better horses, I'm sure.
Ally had returned from that trip to find the manager had dropped him for a crucial cup tie against Celtic. In the wake of a disastrous defeat, Ally was forced to make a public apology, although in his opinion no breach of discipline had occurred. However, a day at the races is something he has always enjoyed for the simple pleasures of a flutter and a few hours spent in good company.
Of course he came in Hamilton and says fancy that number 4 in the second race, but I can't mind the name of it. So we're all running about, opened it up. Amnesia.
Mind that, bro.
Like Danny.
What's his real one? Amnesia.
The memory of this particular day is a precious one for Ally. Shortly afterwards, the nation mourned the sudden loss of Davy Cooper. While many cried for the loss of a footballing genius and a gentleman, Ally shed a tear for the passing of a brother. It is best to remember him as he was this day and celebrate his talent, which gave pleasure to so many.
Hey, big kid, come on for a drink! Come on here! Give me out! Give us some here,
So Charlie and I only 2 never back to winner. It was a great day.
I certainly had a good day, a few winners. And
that was unbelievable. I've been coming to racing for years and years, and we've never seen anything like that before.
well, to have the winning jockey actually waving up to you after he wins the race was a wee bit special, I think. That was brilliant. It's just a pity we couldn't get him a wee winner at the races, that's the only thing.
First time in his life he's won nothing.
I
know you've got the MBE and you've scored so many goals, you won more championships than me, but can I tell you, why don't we put our
European Cup one again?
Why don't we put our European Cup medals on the table and see what it's all about? Excuse me, I've got mine in here. You want to see it?
I'd love to see it in there.
Because the only chance you will get to see it, boy.
Well, let's assure you.
You want to count our winning? Oh, it's been a grand day. It's been a good day. Oh, the cuddies have been good. I thought Charlie drank a wee bit too much. I think he's a scandal. I mean, that was 14 bottles of Bex or something I saw him drink. He'll make it. Honestly, he's got a chance. He'll be one of the best Rangers ever. He's got a chance. But I'll tell you what, Tommy McCoist.
Johnston. Oh, great ball through Ally McCoist. He's onside. McCoist must start. Number 4 for Rangers. But here's a chance for Ally McCoist. And McCoist gets his second goal of the game.
Season 1991 had begun in fine style for Ally. However, as the season progressed, Ally found himself increasingly relegated to the bench in favour of close season signing from Monaco, Mark Hateley. Graham Souness made it clear that his preferred pairing up front was that of Hateley and Johnson. Fans promptly nicknamed Ally the Judge, following long periods spent on the bench.
I felt I was worthy of a place in the team. A lot of the fans felt that as well, and were vocal about it. At the same time, Graham Souness picks the team, and he was entitled to pick the team he wanted. And obviously he's paid money for 2 players in the shape of Mark Hateley and Maurice Johnson. So being realistic about it, they're going to be in the starting lineup before I am, because they're his players.
Here's McCoist, he must score! Rangers take the lead! Ally McCoist gets his 12th goal of the season.
I think the more vocal the fans got, if anything, they might have turned them more against me, because he was never going to be seen to be given into them. He was never going to be seen to be given into MD, especially not the fans.
Despite coming on late in games to score crucial goals, Ally was not rewarded with a place in the starting lineup.
I was never going to, let my feelings show. I was always, the happy-go-lucky, smiling. Okay, I'm not happy the way things are, but I'll keep it going.
Ally retained his sense of humour and matched it with his resolve to demonstrate that he was worthy of a place in the team.
We played Rangers at Ibrox, played very well against them, dominated the match. Jim Bett was having a tremendous game, but it was still nothing each after about 70 minutes. And at that time, Coisty was on the bench, and his first touch, literally, he scored.
Ally had scored one of his most spectacular goals ever. The impassive response of Graham Souness in the stand was noted by observers.
So they got another throw in about the halfway line, 5 minutes later, and he says, and I was picking him up at this time, and he says, I usually score for here, Biggin. So I said, I'm not going to say anything, because he's liable to get the last laugh. A couple of minutes later, he scored again.
And it's only Alison that saw the true feelings. My face tripped me and saying, I can't believe I'm not going to game this team. And she was great. She said, look, you just got to keep going and knuckle down and get back in the team. And that's what.
Having spent the best part of the season fighting for his place in the team, Ally may have been forgiven for breathing a small sigh of relief when the departure of Graham Souness to Liverpool was.
I've seen Graham Souness since, and we've talked and had a laugh, and we've spoken about things. And there's absolutely no problem at all with myself and Graham Souness' relationship, none at all. At the same time, the best thing in the world for me was probably him leaving.
I'm delighted to confirm today that Walter Smith will be the new manager of Rangers Football Club.
The task in hand was to win the still undecided league championship. A late loss of form had allowed Aberdeen back into the race, and they came to Ibrox looking for a point to clinch the title. Ally had been hit by injury in the closing months of the season and was anything but fit, but he played his part among the other walking wounded that day, coming off the bench for the last 6 minutes of the game. That nail-biting match, now firmly enshrined in Rangers folklore, was won with 2 goals from Mark Hateley, and for Ally, the celebrations that day were a mixture of jubilation, relief and exhaustion.
He's said on many occasions that Rangers is the place he's wanted to play and always wanted to play, and he never wanted to leave. And I think it showed during that spell that that was the case. And when he got out of that spell and started playing again, he was going to make sure that he wasn't the person that was left out. I think that shows a great deal the other side of his character, because he has got a determination to do well.
I'm forever thankful and I'm respectful of what football has given me. And football has given me this a beautiful lifestyle, a beautiful life and family now. And I'm very respectful of the fact that I might not have had that if it hadn't been for football.
Ally and his wife Alison have recently added to the McCoist family with the birth of their son, Alexander.
How's he been?
Fine.
No problem. It was a magical moment which I treasure for the rest of my life when I saw the wee man, you know, and when Alison and I both held him after he was born. It was brilliant.
Come on.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, people say to you, it'll change your life and you'll have a total, different outlook in life. And you say, I know, of course you will, but you do. You genuinely do. And the one thing I wouldn't have missed, for all the money in the world, all the tea in China, was actually being at the birth. And I was there for the best part of 10 hours when Alison gave birth to Alexander on the 23rd of January, and it was something that I still find it difficult to take in. I mean, the football obviously plays a very, very big and a vastly important part of your life. But at the end of the day, the football won't be a life forever, but your family will be. And that puts it into perspective a little bit. There's nobody more committed to playing football and enjoys the football more than me. But at the end of the day, your family obviously comes first in every shape and every manner. It gives you more responsibility, now being a father. But it's a responsibility that I really, really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. And it's when you see him lying here, that's amazing.
Following the trials and tribulations of the previous term, Ally began season 91-92 in a determined mood and served warning early on that he was out to win back his place in the team.
Well, look at the delight on the face of Ally McCoist.
Still recovering from a hernia operation as the season began, Ally fought back to fitness and stated his case to Walter Smith. He was given his chance against Hearts at Tynecastle and took it in customary fashion.
And we beat them 1-0 that day, and I was lucky enough to get the goal. And that was it. That was the first goal, and that was me back in the team, and everything just took off.
Ally McCoist.
There's a way of going about your job which is equally as important as doing your job. I do enjoy scoring goals. If they can see you genuinely as pleased about scoring a goal for them as they are seeing the goal being scored, I think that creates a bond between you and the fan.
The goal-scoring partnership of Ally McCoist and Mark Hateley was now well established, and the duo developed an uncanny understanding.
We were just unbelievable. We went in a run where we honestly felt as though we were going to score every week. One of us was going to score every week. There was an inbuilt confidence in each other as we got to know each other better, and the longer we played with each other, the stronger it got. I don't think there's any doubt we turned into a feared partnership.
It's like a marriage to an extent. You become so aware of your partner, little habits that you have and things that you do, but you look at it as a team within a team.
He would be the first one to give credit to the fact that all the other boys in the team at that stage were playing to a level that was of a very, very high standard indeed, and he was the one, and is probably the most capable player that I know of putting the finishing touches to, and he did that on many occasions for us.
Ally continued to score with breathtaking regularity and put himself firmly in contention for the coveted European Golden Boot.
All of a sudden they start showing tables of the goal scorers in Europe, and you're in the top 2 or top 3, and people are starting to mention your name, and you kid on, you joke and say, it doesn't bother me, I just want to do well, and once you see yourself up there, you want to stay up there and you want to win things like that.
Ally won the Golden Boot as Europe's top scorer with 34 league goals and was also voted Player of the Year. It seemed that everything he touched turned to gold.
This was a story when I was going for my first Golden Boot in 1992. I got this presented to me from the Nistdale Rangers Supporters Club, and they reckoned that this was the nearest I would ever get to the Golden Boot. And I think they were taking the mickey, but I mean that means an awful lot to me as well, because it shows you the sort of rapport and a laugh you have, if you like, with some of the supporters. But having said that, I think I had the last laugh on them, if you like, something that means more to me than anything really, and that is the Adidas Golden Shoe Award, Golden Boot Award for being the top scorer in Europe. That just means an awful lot to me. I mean, obviously it goes without saying that when you do win awards like that, you're not winning them from yourself, because you couldn't do it without the rest of the lads, and I think the rest of the team, especially the first season, the rest of the team took as much pride and pleasure in myself winning that than I did myself, because I remember the last game of the season against Aberdeen the first year, when I needed a couple of goals to, we'd already won the championship, I needed a couple of goals to win the Golden Boot, and it had been easy for the lads to take their foot off the gas, take their foot off the pedal, if you like, but they never did it, and they were running about like madmen last game of the season to see if I could get a couple of goals, and fortunately enough I did get a couple of goals. So I mean, although that particular award's sitting in my house, it's a team award as well, because there's no way I could have done it without the rest of them. Well, I've got to say that really, haven't I?
Ally had another reason to smile that season with the 1992 Scottish Cup campaign, and Rangers looking to lay their Scottish Cup jinx to rest.
There's McCoist. And McCoist has scored!
Still hadn't won the Scottish Cup. It was something that had eluded us, even in Graham Souness's campaign as manager, the Scottish Cup was the one that eluded us. And it was bugging us, I mean, there's no doubt about it. But this was the year it was all going to change.
Ulster now has space on the left, he's in behind Traynor. Bringing Ingles across, that's good play by Houstra. Chances on, and McCoist scores for Rangers.
The crunch game came in a memorable semi-final clash with Celtic, with the Rangers side reduced to 10 men following the sending off of David Robertson in the 6th minute.
O'Neill forced to hurry there, it breaks from McCall, he has McCoist inside, that's for Ally McCoist, and Rangers are ahead!
And that was a brilliant moment for us to score just before half-time, because we went in 1-0 up and you just get such a boost and the belief in the dressing room. We honestly believed that we were going to win that day, 10 men or not 10 men.
And we were forced to change a wee bit, and he played up front on his own for most of the game, and he played exceptionally well. When you look at his contribution that night and add the goal to it, it was probably one of the most memorable games I've been involved in as the Rangers manager.
And that was a brilliant night in the Rangers history, beating the Celtic with 10 men and going on to the cup final against Airdrie. I go to games at Hampden, cup finals and Rangers games at Hampden, taking in the crowd, and you're looking at the young faces in it thinking, that was you 20 years ago. And I've been very, very, very lucky where I have fulfilled my dream, and that's played for Rangers in cup finals and stuff like that.
McCall sets up McCoist, that's a good effort by McCoist! And deadly finishing pays off once again for Rangers. Right on the half-time whistle, that may well be the killer goal in the final.
Ally's goal just before the interval secured a 2-1 victory and a long-awaited Scottish Cup winners' medal for the McCoist collection. It was a superb double-winning season for Rangers, and for Ally it was a personal triumph. With 44 goals that season, he brought his career tally to 200 and had now won every major honour in Scottish football. Recent times have seen the addition of another prized possession to the McCoist trophy cabinet.
Of all the things that I've been lucky enough to win and been awarded over the years, I think this must take pride at the top of the list, and it's my MBE. I must admit, when I first heard, I thought somebody was at the wind-up, I thought maybe Bomber or something like that was at their work. It probably hasn't really sunk in even now. It was a great day going down to Buckingham Palace. And to think that I'm following the footsteps of John Gregish, a great Ranger, who's not slow in telling me that he was the last Rangers player to get an MBE. It's something I'm very, very proud of. And although I'm very, very nervous, I've made my mind up and set my stall. I'm going to enjoy today and try and take everything in. What am I going to do? She's not in. The Palace was everything I thought it would be. It was absolutely amazing place, beautiful place, and it was very, very nerve-wracking. Probably as scared as I've been in a long, long time.
Ally was awarded an MBE for services to association football in November 1994. Amongst others honoured that day was former world champion boxer Barry McGuigan.
I've seen him nervous, I've seen him excited, but I've never seen him like he was this morning. Wonderful, very proud of him, very proud.
It's been a wonderful experience, wonderful day. We've all thoroughly enjoyed it.
I felt very proud when I saw him go up and collect his award. And it took an hour and a half before he went up and got his award because he was one of the last ones in.
That's a shock. I must admit, it's been a day beyond my wildest dreams. I think we've been lucky with the football, it's been very good to us, but something like this has just been an amazing moment. Perfect day.
See when Ally was young, Ally McCoist, see when he wanted to grow up, he wanted to see the Queen, you know that? Our Ally wanted to meet the Queen. So his mum says, the Queen. There the man coming in there! I've always wanted to meet the Queen! See when I was young, I wanted to meet the Queen! It's all like that's what you've got to set yourself the target. See when Ally was young, he always wanted to meet the Queen! I've got to take for you. I'm bringing it in, right? I've not seen it. I didn't know where Mum was going. And it was only Charles. Oh, but Matt Alistair, see when he was young, he wanted to be the Queen, but it was only chance.
She's going, it was only chance.
A lot of expectations surround the club, so therefore your disappointments are, if anything, magnified in comparison to everybody else's. It's important that you can step aside for it and laugh, and he's one of the main contributors to that in our place. He's got a bubbly personality, but he's very, very quick-witted, and you've got to be really careful what you say when he's around. Otherwise you just get a sharp retort.
Can't believe how flexible I am.
McCoist and Jasper, you know, the very funny characters. If you're coming in with a hangover, they make you laugh, and they do pick you up in different situations, you know, in the dressing room before games, after games, and you know, you need them sort of people in your dressing room, I think, you know, through thick and thin, I think.
It was my first day here. I put my kit on to get ready and go out, and I felt something kind of hot. When it was algae-pan, they put in my pants and I couldn't take them off over in the training ground, so I was running about burning for about 45 minutes.
You're dealing joker, that's your deal.
You clown joker really in the dressing room and everything else, very sharp on the pitch as well as off it.
He's always got a smile, he's always laughing. I've never seen him in a downer.
He's such a pleasant personality, everybody can't help but like him.
It was an Old Firm game at Celtic Park, it was. New Year's Day game. And he'd gone through away from the goals, and Gordon Marshall had gone for him and brought him down. And of course, Ally's laid down, it's a penalty kick. So of course, Gordon Marshall's run into the referee, Peter Grant, they're all around the referee, and eventually Ally's still on the ground. They all run over to Ally and say, "My goodness, Ally, you cheated there, you were diving," or words to that effect. And Ally just looked up, he just opened the eye and he said, "Happy New Year, lads."
I remember playing the first game after I moved to Motherwell. I played a game at Fir Park against Rangers, and Motherwell, we beat Rangers 1-0 that night. It was a Tuesday night. Bobby Russell scored the goal, but I'll never forget Ally. 4 minutes to go, there was a free kick at the edge of the box, and for Motherwell, somebody was lying injured, so the game was stopped. And I'm standing waiting to take the free kick, and he walked up to me with 4 minutes to go, and he says, "You know something, Coop?" He says, "Why am I in the losing team? I'm playing brilliant."
There was always time for a wee bit of banter during the games as well. And I never liked to have a bit of banter back with him, because I always felt that he was liable to get the last laugh. He was that type of fella.
Coist is a guy who you can't help but like. He's just that kind of guy. He's a rogue, but a likeable rogue.
Ally has also been an invaluable performer in the dark blue jersey of Scotland, having appeared 46 times.
My first cap was against Holland and Eindhoven in 1986, but I had to wait until 1987 to manage to get my first goal for Scotland.
Ally was disappointed not to be awarded a place in the squad for Mexico in 1986. With the arrival of new manager Andy Roxburgh, he was given the opportunity to show what he was capable of.
Wilson, Johnston, offside. No offside, it's a goal.
Without doubt, the most important goal Ally has scored for his country came against Norway at Hampden.
Get a chance for McCoist. This is the opener. McCoist does it for Scotland. Andy Roxburgh on the track.
The one Scotland goal that means more to me than anything, because it was the fact that it was at Hampden, and it was a game which we had to take something from. It was a final World Cup qualifying tie, and if we got something from it, we're going to Italy.
The World Cup finals proved to be a bitter personal disappointment for Ally. Despite scoring the goal which clinched Scotland's place in Italy and continued to score in the build-up matches prior to the finals, he was dropped for the first two matches of the tournament against Costa Rica and Sweden. Ally shrugged off this disappointment and set his sights on Sweden in 1992.
He was very instrumental in the qualification for the European Championship finals, and for me, the best game I ever seen him playing for Scotland was in a very depleted Scotland side. There was about 30 call-offs for a change, and Alistair led the line up front with a lot of inexperience round about him, and I thought that was his best performance in a Scotland jersey. The pundits, the critics, press, media felt that Romania were so superior in skill and technique, which they probably were, probably still are, that they would wipe the floor with us very weakened Scotland side. You know, it was the backs against the wall attitude. You know, the never say die stuff, and Coisty led us that night. I felt to a deserved victory.
Popescu. Algy's dummy was well read by Boyd. He can charge forward now. He's very quick indeed now. Petrescu trying to get back. And Boyd's strength carries him to the ball. Chance now for Paul McStay, setting it up. McLeod playing it across. And it's tapped in by McCoist. Scotland take the lead. There's McCoist. That's the fourth.
Ally was enjoying his football as never before, and spirited Scotland performances owed much to a good atmosphere in the Scotland camp, to which Ally contributed willingly.
Well, a good set of lads together anyway. You know, they enjoy being in each other's company, and that's certainly the way it is with the Rangers squad and the Scotland squad. I mean, it's a good set of lads, and when you've got a happy, contented bunch, they tend to work harder, and results get better, and they do the business for you.
Oh!
I'm not having that. Got to play with him, Mugs. Great effort. You go.
Well, how'd you like that?
Oh! He's good on a video.
Yes, correct.
I felt the keeper was a little unlucky.
Credible performances against the mighty Dutch and Germans and a convincing victory over CIS won Scotland widespread praise. Another memorable occasion took place in Ally's own patch.
It was one of the internationals that we played at Ibrox, and Scotland had a great record in recent years when playing international at Ibrox, so that all changed that night. We managed to beat them by I think it was 3-0 and managed to get a couple of goals.
That's great play from Nevin until the cross. There's McCoist! The breakthrough for Scotland!
Ally scored his 15th international goal for Scotland in that game and has always relished the opportunity to turn out for his country. As a high-profile professional footballer, Ally's services are often in demand, with personal appearances and television work an enjoyable distraction from the more serious business of playing. Ally's become a regular participant in the long-running BBC quiz show, Question of Sport.
You know, the good thing is that it's not a rush thing, it's not bang your straight into it. You get down and have a bite to eat and perhaps a glass of wine or whatever, and you relax and you sit and have the crack for a while. And it just shows in the show, I think. Hello there.
Ali, how are you?
Great.
Well? Yes, very well, thanks.
How are you? Nice to see you, Ali. How are you?
Hello there, boss. He's one of the few Scottish players who were possibly known to Joe Public down in England. You know, he's extremely popular, I think. You know, and he obviously enjoys life. He enjoys his sport.
No, it's not just at the back end of last season as well.
Yes, big shyness. Yes, big shyness. How you doing? All right. Okay. Yeah. Tremendous. 8 weeks tomorrow.
Saying the word.
Can you handle it?
The thing about Ali is that he's a fun-loving guy. You know, he enjoys sport. He's a great advert for the game. And I think whatever Ali did, whether it was soccer, banking, whatever, he'd have done it with the same gusto for life. He's unique. He's a lot of fun.
He's one of the most popular sportsmen in Scotland, indeed, with everyone who's met him. Great character, Scottish Footballer of the Year. Here from Rangers, Ally McCoist.
You go on the show and it's very, very relaxed and it's pretty light-hearted.
You'll be the first to pick a number and see who appears.
Go for number 6, please.
A trip to the woods?
Sparrow.
I can tell you what, it's not Lanny Watkins. How's that?
I can't see anything.
Oh, I've got it.
It's not your turn, though.
I know.
Looks like George Bush.
Nick Faldo.
Bonus of 2.
Season 92-93 was the pinnacle for one of the best Rangers sides of all time. They swept aside all competition at home while enjoying an unbeaten run in Europe. Ally continued to score with breathtaking regularity.
He's got a talent that, which is the most important talent in the game, really, is scoring goals. McCoist's talent has always been getting himself in the right position, more than running around a great deal.
Well, he does position himself to finish all the time, and that in itself is a big thing for a striker. Ally McCoist's one thought is to get a finish in, and he's probably way ahead of everybody else and thinking about where he's positioned himself to get a finish. And over the period of time, somebody says, "Oh, it's just a tap in." He's manoeuvred himself into that position on a lot of occasions. He worked to get there, and it's really a lot of the time maybe just an instinct that he's got that takes him into these positions that enables him to do that.
Here comes Ally McCoist again. McCoist!
Ally's role as captain for the day, standing in for injured Richard Gough, inspired him to a marvellous 4-goal display, with Ally making it all look a little too easy.
But when you get 6 yards in, there's very little space. When you're defending in the 6-yard box, there's normally 7 or 8 people in that vicinity. So, there's a bit of fortune in there as well. But I think the majority of the time, it's just the awareness of where the ball's going to fall and hunting for the space. Bordering on arrogance or self-confidence is, it's a very fine line, and I think you find most of your top footballers, successful footballers, do carry that streak, and Alistair, especially.
Keith Chegwin live, big breakfast. Ally McCoist, the man who's known as the smiling assassin, because every time he's about to score a goal, he grins just before he kicks the ball, you see.
Hello, you're
Mrs.
right.
McCoist, is he all right? Are you sure? Hello, doggy. Good
Hello.
morning, how are you?
Morning.
Is he in?
Yes, he's upstairs.
Is he upstairs? Can we go up, is that all right?
Yes.
Are you sure you don't mind?
You can wait in the lounge and I'll call him.
Ally! Good morning. Keith Chegwin live on the Big Breakfast. I'm very well, thank you, and you?
Bit wet, mate.
You can't tap dance?
I can't, unfortunately, no.
But you can do ballet?
Can't do ballet either, unfortunately. I've got somebody here that can. Up you come. Come here.
Come on, up.
There you
Who's
are.
this?
This is the dog, Arnie. He's very good at
Yates,
tap
isn't
dance.
it?
It's Arnie, yeah.
Arnie and Alison there.
Yep.
Great. Looking round your home, what a cracking place.
Well,
how long have you been here?
3 years. We're in 3 years now.
Is it all right if we have a little butcher's
Oh,
round?
sure, carry on. You're in now, aren't you?
Show me round. Oh, gosh! I've just broken your kitchen rail. Oh, I do apologise. Look, I'll keep my hands to myself on the way round.
That man's a joke.
Hey, the one thing I did notice on your wall, you got some gold discs here, and I know you're a big fan of Bruce Springsteen, aren't you?
That's my man. Bruce Springsteen's my man.
Is it true that you do impressions?
No, I don't do ballet. I don't tap dance. And I definitely don't do impressions.
But I hear you do get up and give the odd number and things.
But what I do is I'll show you around my house. If you promise not to break anything else.
No, I'm going to pursue this Bruce Springsteen thing a bit more, because you know him for being notoriously late for things. And you had an appointment to meet Bruce Springsteen, didn't you?
And I missed him.
Yeah, how come you missed it? I mean, the big man, the boss.
I was actually devastated at that as well. I really was. And he never hung about for me either, which was not very surprising, but just one of these things.
Ali, thanks very much for letting us come into your home.
No bother, mate.
Man, let me come up the stairs and a cup of tea. Alison, come over here. And can I say a very big thank you to you as well.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time and trouble.
Thanks.
Real nice people, aren't you? Hey, that's lovely.
We won the League Championship, won the League Cup and won the Scottish Cup, won the treble. I mean, it was just an unbelievable year where everything, you know, just clicked.
Ally McCoist! Oh, magnificent goal! This is Trevor Stephen, it's in at Hateley, and it's gone in! Ally McCoist!
In an astonishing goal-scoring feat, Ally again won the European Golden Boot with a total of 34 goals, the same amount he had amassed the previous term. Rangers also remained unbeaten in Europe and came tantalisingly close to a place in the European Cup final. Two memorable games against English champions Leeds United were the first obstacle to qualification to become the first British team to compete in the Champions League. The first leg saw a packed Ibrox with the All Rangers support at fever pitch.
And the noise was unbelievable. The hairs in the back of my neck were genuinely standing up. And I remember looking across, both teams walked out together, looking across and seeing Gary McAllister and David Batty. And I remember looking across and I was just like that, shaking my head, and they were looking at me going, and I was saying, it's like this every week, you know, let's just try to kid them, try to wind them up, you know.
And a brilliant start for Leeds, Gary McAllister, silencing the Ibrox crowd in the most effective way.
I remember the game started again and Gary McAllister ran by me and patted me in the backside and he says, what about that for a wee strike then? And I was like, man, not bad, Gary, I'm pleased for you. What a sucker punch that was. And then we got the goal from, rather fortunately, from the corner.
And McCoist. Rangers get the lead.
Walter Smith's men went to Ellen Road with a one-goal advantage, confident in the face of a dismissive attitude from the English media.
Hateley. Oh, a great goal! A fantastic goal for Rangers by Mark Hateley. Brown's challenge was a strong one and a good one, and Durant now leading the charge. Here's Hateley. Hoist on the far side. It's a super goal, and Rangers now have thoroughly killed off this European Cup tie.
And that was it. When the party was over, they were never going to score 4 goals. It was just a matter of finding Gary McAllister after that.
I was down in England at the time, and that was a great feeling for me for the Battle of Britain to be won by Glasgow Rangers. So that was nice for me and Big Mark, and Ally of course scored the goal. So it was good. It was nice to shove it up the English for a change.
With the Champions League games, you know, 2-0 down against Marseille, Ibrox back to 2 each. Couldn't have written a script for that. I honestly believe with 2 opportunities to qualify. First one was against Bruges, over in Bruges. We should have beaten them. If we'd beaten them, it might have made a case for qualifying for the final a lot easier. And over in Marseille, we drew 1 each time over there. We had a chance to beat them over there as well. So that Rangers team just didn't know when to give up and when they were beaten.
Despite the disappointment of going out, they had remained undefeated throughout and were given a magnificent ovation by supporters.
It's only now, when we look back and and we haven't been as successful in Europe since then. You really miss it. You want a piece of the action. I mean, we had a piece of the action in Europe that year.
With the League Cup already won and the Championship also clinched, the only unfinished business was in the Cup. Ally had scored in every round leading up to the final.
Bouncing it on, here's McCoist. Walker changed his mind, and Rangers are ahead!
The season would end in disappointment when a disastrous Scotland humiliation at the hands of Portugal left Ally with a broken leg.
Challenge on McCoist, and he rather felt that, I think.
My shin just met his kneecap. It was sore. At the same time, I wasn't aware of the fact that I'd broken it. And the trainer came on and I asked him to try and pick me up and see if I could put my weight on it. And once he picked me off, I sort of went, never mind putting my weight on it, would you mind getting me off the park, please? I knew as soon as I got into the dressing room I'd broken my leg. So I hadn't had a feeling like it or a pain like it before.
Even the disappointment of injury could not dampen Ally's spirits as he celebrated in fine style Rangers' Cup victory over Aberdeen.
Well, evidence again, I think, of the remarkable team spirit among these Rangers players. It's team spirit like this which has carried them through such difficult times, and they've turned out triumphant in the end.
On the 3rd of August 1993, Ally's testimonial year began with a match against Kevin Keegan's Newcastle United in front of 42,000 supporters.
It's something I've been looking forward to since it was announced that I've been lucky enough to get a testimonial. The only sort of down point, if you like, is obviously not playing. But it's been a really exciting week for me, and I hope the lads will get a result tonight, very importantly. I must admit, I'm really nervous, probably more nervous than I would be if I was playing. Just hoping that everything goes okay, there's no problems with tickets, the crowd enjoy themselves. Ian Ferguson gets a kick of the ball. I hope everything goes well, you know. I'm sure it will, though. Flustered? Dalek remotely flustered?
I think any player that shows a loyalty to stay with a club for 10 years, especially through thick and thin, because in the early part of his career here, Rangers weren't going through their best spell. So I think he thoroughly deserves that.
Hey, you just play your normal game and you go off at half-time.
McCoist, he's always laughing and joking. I mean, if you're down, you know, not everyone's laughing and joking all the time, but you come in the dressing room some mornings down yourself and he lifts you out straight out of it straight away.
This is seriously Aladdin's cave. Nobody knows the formula in here. Right, Jimmy, thanks, pal. Right.
I mean, this domain we're in at the moment is Ally's domain. I mean, it could be quiet in the morning, but when Alistair walks in the front door, he livens things up. He's so bubbly, he starts singing a few songs, and he gets everybody going.
Where is that?
No.
That should be it. Don't need them. Newcastle players need them. I've done the Newcastle wives as well. There's somebody supposed to be in it. I hope you're recording that.
We struck up a good report early on, and over the years we've become really close pals, so I'm glad he's stuck in. He's done really well. He deserves a lot he gets.
He's a very bubbly character. He's very, very funny. He's, as you say, he's a party animal on and off the pitch. He's always laughing and always joking. He's always got a good one-liner to come out when you think you've give it to him, sort of thing. He comes back and he does you for fun, sort of thing.
Football's a very big game now, and a lot of time when you meet players, despite their ability, which you obviously admire them for, you're sometimes disappointed with them. I think when you meet Ally, and I can vouch for everybody I know who's met him, they always think, yeah, he's even nicer than I thought. And I think that counts for even more, to be honest with you. It's one thing to be a great footballer, which he is, but then when you talk about being a great person too, that's why he deserves a testimonial. That's why I think you'll find he'll get a tremendous tribute tonight from not just Rangers supporters. There's an awful lot coming from Newcastle as well.
I've got two great football teams here playing a game, if you like, and the fans turning up to pay an honour and respect for the 10-year service I've given. And they've been great to me, especially in recent years. They've been through, well, in the 10 years I've been here, they've been through thick and thin with me. And in the last 2 or 3 years, I'd like to think I've repaid them with a few goals. As I say, I'd like to think there's a few more left yet. But we've been through it all together, and to get honoured in this way and paid the respect by the fans is thrilling.
Newcastle United, newcomers to the English Premiership, eventually ran out 2-1 winners, with goals from scoring sensation Andy Cole and Scott Sellers for Newcastle and Mark Hateley for Rangers. Ally did participate in the half-time entertainment along with the two managers, Walter Smith and Kevin Keegan.
Oh, just the usual, Ally, eh?
It's a true shame. You see, you've got to take the bad times to appreciate the good times, and I've certainly had some not so good times, but far outweighed with the great times here. The biggest thrill for me playing football is scoring goals for Rangers. It really is, and I enjoy it now as much as I did 10 years ago. I always say my best goal is going to be my next one, and I can't wait. As I say, I've got the broken leg just now, but I can't wait to get back out in that park and get scoring goals again. I just can't wait.
The long throw, looking for Hateley's flick on. Tweed is with him. That's McCoist with the acrobatic effort. McCoist does it for Rangers. He scores in the most spectacular fashion, and Rangers go in front again. Well, a man with a golden touch. He's done it again.
My face after scoring that day was relief. It was relief coming back for the broken leg, and it was everything rolled into one. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry or greet or what to do.
And I felt that in that League Cup final he maybe just wasn't ready to be playing in such an important game. But you knew as a substitute he would come on and would be liable to score you a goal. The standard of the goal was incredible, and it remains, I think, one of the best goals to win a cup final in a long while. And it's, I suppose, a tribute to him that everybody said it was just typical Ally McCoist.
The Old Testimonial year was just an incredible event. Well, it was made up of a few events. It started off obviously with the game, and then from then on with a couple of dinners, with a dinner in Glasgow and a dinner in Edinburgh.
I've known Ally McCoist for a long time. I don't think you'll ever meet a more genuine fella. And just after this year, I don't think you'll meet a more genuine, richer fella. But Ally, I'd like to wish you all the best for your season. You thoroughly deserved it. I would like to wish Rangers all the success in the future. You've got some smashing players, some smashing guys. Thank you very much.
We're all here for one thing this evening, and that is to honour one of the great entertainers of British sport. He's a great friend of mine, I'd like to think. I'm going to take a lot of money off him over the next few years on the golf course, because we're both going to retire. Well, I've retired. He won't be long. I can see it. I can see it in the legs. He didn't tell me it was fancy dress tonight, but no, it's been a great pleasure. It's a great honour, and I'm sure you'd all like to wish Ally McCoist a very successful year, and Glasgow Rangers. Good luck to you all.
With a golf day, which was an absolute washout. But having said that, contrary to what a lot of people would think, it was a brilliant day because it was so wet that we couldn't take it serious. We're never going to take it serious anyway. But I mean, when I say it didn't stop raining for 10 minutes, I mean it didn't stop raining for 10 minutes.
It's great. I mean, obviously the weather's not been that kind to us, but the main thing is all the lads have turned up, and there's a few of the boys going out just now. And at the moment in time, Gordon McQueen's winning the shortest drive off the first tee. So that could be a bit ironic. He'd end up winning the shortest drive and the longest drive. But we're going to have a good day. What about you, David? Are we going in for a coffee? Of course we are. Did you do well now? No.
The one thing that I've never had before the broken leg was a serious injury. And once you get that, you find it difficult to come to terms with it. In terms of the length of absence you're going to be from the training ground and the park itself. Once you realise and accept that it's going to be a long, hard slog back to full fitness, then you can cope with it a lot better, and then you can get on with the real hard work ahead. When you come back from a serious injury, there's other parts of your body tend to compensate for the major injury, and you start to pull things like hamstrings and calf injuries, and that was certainly the case for me when I came back from the broken leg. I had another hernia operation and had another ankle operation, and I had numerous calf injuries and hamstrings, but I'd prepared myself for one or two of these injuries, but not really. They all came at me pretty thick and fast, and that was pretty depressing. That just when you think you've got yourself over the major broken leg and you start getting twinges and calf injuries, that gets you down a little bit.
I've seen him do double training sessions when the players haven't been there and they've had the days off and things, and he's worked really hard, and then he's got a kick, or you know, Friday before a game in training, and he's come home and he said, oh, that's me, you know, I'll not be fit for Saturday. And then I've seen him rest for a few days, then start all the way back again, and you think, oh gosh, what a waste that was, you know, that fortnight of him before that, working so hard. But he doesn't see it that way, you know, he just sees it, well, it's a job and I've got to get on with it and I'm going to come back. So he just believed in himself, obviously.
Like it was a case when I broke my leg, people tend to write you off. They don't even give you one bad game, they give you one missed chance, and that's him finished, and he's the history man and stuff like that. But I have a quiet smile to myself when you hear some of the nonsense spoken, some of the nonsense people say in interviews, and if anything, it just spurs you on. So I was pretty determined in my own mind that I was going to shut up a few people and prove them wrong. So I had a lot to achieve. I wanted to achieve a lot, get back in Rangers first team, score goals, and the following effect would hopefully get back in the Scotland team, because I never ever wanted to end my Scotland career playing in a 5-0 drubbing in Portugal with a broken leg. I didn't want to be that to my last game.
There's John Collins on the cross. McCoist goes in! He scored! It's Ally McCoist for Scotland!
And when I scored the goal against Greece, it was like, you know, the best part of 2 years, hard work coming back from a broken leg, and a sense of achievement, a real sense of pride, and I was very, very pleased to score that goal. A very, very important goal in the respect that it more than helped us on our way to the European Championships, the finals in England. The one thing that I wanted to achieve from a personal point of view was beat Mr McPhail's record, and having been so close to it and then breaking my leg, there are doubts go through your mind and you wonder if you can get back to full fitness and score the amount of goals required to beat Mr McPhail's record. But it was something that, as I said, I really, really wanted to achieve. And that was another thing, that just similar to the Scotland goal, the emotion runs through you because you've achieved something that maybe you had a wee nagging down at the back of your own mind. And I honestly don't believe that I'll fully appreciate holding the record until maybe 4 or 5 years down the line when I've stopped playing, and then I'll be able to look back and say, well, Mr McPhail had that record for the best part of 57, 60 years, and such a great record it was too. I don't know if it will be, you know, beaten in the near future, and it's certainly a record that probably I'm as proud of that as I am in anything I've achieved in the game. I don't regret 1 minute of anything I've done. I've had the best part of 13 years now at Rangers, and I've enjoyed every one of them. I've played for arguably one of the best sides in Europe, and it's one of the greatest teams in the world, and it's a team that I've always supported and wanted to play for. I want to play for as long as I can. Well, to the Rangers supporters, I would offer them a big thank you for the support they've given me, because they've been great to me over the years. I've had my ups and downs at the club, but generally speaking, they've given me great support through thick and thin, and for that I'm eternally grateful. I'm enjoying my football now as much as I've ever done in my career at any stage, so I would say to them to watch this space, because there'll be a few goals to come yet.
Right, we're home. All right, let's go. Straight home, straight your bed. Straight your bed, right, come on. I think there's been one or two things you could throw away.
Anybody get an MBE? He's got one.
Well, come on, let's be honest about it.
What did you get that for, eh? Sure. Maybe be early.
And I see Alison's going to let you pay the bill in the hotel.
Yes, because his credit card's broken.
And Alison's is just worn out. There's smoke coming for Alison's credit card. You see, join us with us.
You're looking very nice today.
Thank you.
Right, girl.